And hello, everyone. Welcome back to Frontline Prediction League, FPL in the trenches. Frontline Prediction League in the trenches. Frontline Prediction League is available here on YouTube, this very channel, Frontline Prediction League. Also, Frontline League over on Twitter, X, Frontline_Prediction_League on Instagram. And you can also go through to our Discord for the Frontline Prediction League stuff where you see this page right here with the upcoming stuff. Point this way. For the upcoming stuff for Deadline this weekend, all that stuff is available, plus Top of the Card Pod on Twitter, Top of the Card Podcast. New episode coming very shortly with our thoughts with CM Punk and stuff like that. More on that as we close out the show. But let's start the show, BeerMe. I'm here, your co-host Scott. Joining me as always is BeerMe. How are you, BeerMe?
Doing pretty good, Scott. It's been raining here all day, but it was near 60, so it's not bad. How about yourself? How you doing?
I'm good. We did get a forecast for rain tomorrow, even though it's been snowy and there's snow everywhere and a little icy here and there. But yeah, a rain forecast means it's super mild. It's 1 degree Celsius right now, and 0 is freezing. So, I mean, 1 degree is whatever. But yeah, it's probably going to rain tomorrow, make everything really slick, because when that happens this time of year, and by that I mean the next 3 months, when it rains, that sucks because it covers everything, and then that freezes overnight, generally. And that's right. So that's not going to be good, especially up here when it's like it is snowy covered roads and there's tire tracks through it. It's not like I'm talking feet deep or anything, but it's not the pavement anymore. It's just a rough surface, and then freeze that, so it's slippery and bumpy, and it sucks. Canada. So yeah, that's probably coming for this weekend. So we'll see. But also coming this weekend, BeerMe, good segue, is Deadline. Deadline is Saturday, December 9th. As you can see right there, it is our house show. It was going to be the final show of the year, but we got World's End on the 30th, so there will be a bit of a gap in between. It is, like I said, Saturday. I believe the pre-show is still only a half hour. I can't confirm that exactly, but there is a match on it, so it might actually be a full hour this time. I don't fully know. But either way, the show's at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 or 6:30 pre-show, kickoff, whatever you want to call this one, meaning a 6:30 or 7 or 6. Let's go 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock is your deadline. Just run with that. It might be 6:30, but it's probably going to be 6. But 6:30 is, it's an hour before the pre-show. And like we've learned with All In, keep that in mind for World's End at the end of the year. And I'll say that right now because that's going to be a crazy one. 0 hour, whatever they end up calling it, or hour 1, might actually be an hour and a half or even 2 hours. And it is based on that show, even though Fight only says a half hour and the matches are an hour and whatever. It's whatever they end up saying. And they changed it on us like the day before. So it's ridiculous. But NXT one's normally a half hour, so we'll run with that. It is Deadline. It is this weekend, BeerMe. It is our go-home show for this. We're going to talk about what's on the card with our predictions and what we think is going to happen as far as for some new matches being announced and overall on this one. Now, being a house show, NXT is that now. It has a FPL European Grand Prix Championship. It is Dedrick Cyrus defending his title against Sheriffdog. I think we both said Sheriffdog might win this, but would lose at Hard to Kill, right? I think we both said Hard to Kill is a new champ, no matter what happens here. I do think Sheriffdog is going to take this, though. But I like Dedrick as champ, so I'm 50-50.
I think Sheriffdog's going to take it as well.
Yeah, I'm leaning Sheriffdog, but that's mostly from the renewed focus that he's got. So I'm leaning towards that. Doesn't mean anything. Dedrick's champ for a reason, so he could easily turn him back. But I'm leaning towards Sheriffdog just for that. We got some question marks. We will fill those in as we go, or not as we go, at the end. We'll come back to that. Mark Harper is facing James Blake. One-on-one, Mr. Money in the Bank versus the former world champion. Excuse me. I think we both went with Harper on that for momentum's sake, but it's hard to bet against Blake considering he was the double champ. Who are you picking on that one? Right here, right now. Go home. Who you got?
I'm going to pick Mr. Money in the Bank to win.
I'm leaning on that. This is the kind of match where Blake can afford to lose, but Harper really shouldn't. He should be beating a world champion because if he cashed the Money in the Bank and won the belt, he'd have to beat guys like Blake who's coming after him, right? So I like Harper. Harper needs that win. He hasn't been there yet. Blake has, so I like Harper getting that win. I think that'd be good for him. We got the Blissful Enigmas. Red, the American champion, my girl, and Jonathan C.T. Martin and two partners versus Team No Chance. James Costner, Josh Jonio, former world champions themselves, and 2 partners. I'm like I said, it was always biased. I'm picking red on this one, but honestly, with the way they argue, it probably would be Costner and Dionio and their teammates winning this. Like, that's the safe bet, is Team No Chance. Even though they've had a rough time of it together. I think they have 1 win out of 5. Which Costner pointed out, stop saying we're doing well, because we're not. Fair enough. It just seems like you guys do well, because you always do well. So, like, this recent slump, just kind of like, no, is what kind of was what my brain was saying about it. So, that's how good they normally are. If there's ever a time to turn it around, this is it. So, I wouldn't be against betting on them for that, especially with Red and CT being who they are. Character-wise, they don't get along. They never have. I mean, well, they did, obviously, when they were the Enigmas, but that's 5 years plus, so. Who you got?
I am going to pick... It was tough. I am going to pick Costner and JD to continue sliding, and I'm going to pick CT in red, and CT's going to slide upwards. So I'm going to pick them.
Okay.
So.
We got question marks. We got me versus Cammy Cat. I'm betting on myself, even though Cammy could come and take this one and turn the tide a bit, but I'm betting on myself. Are you picking Cammy Cat for this one?
I was going to, you know, just because it's NXT.
Right?
I'm going to.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. It's, yeah. Though there's more, I think it's a 7-match card, so it's like, or a 6-match card.
Yeah,
but
there is.
Iron Survivors, who the heck knows, right? So.
Right.
Because remember, Iron Survivor last year didn't really indicate anything, because it was really the 1-2 punch of Grayson Waller and Carmelo Hayes. Grayson went on to go on to challenge Braun Breaker and do it again for the Steel Cage. Never actually won the title. Then Hayes went on to do it and won. So, like, but Hayes was runner-up. So, like, just because you lose Iron Survivor doesn't mean you're not going to be it. So, like, look, like that's how I think of it. So, who's the shoe-in to win Iron Survivor? It doesn't mean they're going to be the one who goes off and beats Lyra or beats Ilya. So, yeah, I'm overthinking it. I'm clearly overthinking it. But anyway, what else we got? We had a Watson Rules match. It's Eli versus Rallantando. We talked about that last time, but don't bet against Rallantando. Eli has no wins yet, though. This could be his first. But I'm picking Rallantando. No offense, Eli, but you're too new for me to bet against that guy. So, I think you're the same way with that, BeerMe?
Same.
Yeah.
Same, yeah.
He can win it. He obviously could. Billy Grayson came out there and beat Bastion in match 1. It can happen. So we'll see.
True.
We'll see. Now, we have more matches to announce, so let's do so. I believe you said you have 3 matches, BeerMe, when we talked about this beforehand.
Yep.
I've got 2. No, I have 3. I actually have 3. I think. I do. Okay, yeah. So I'll say one first. I'll just tell you right off the bat. The Broken Nerd, the FPL Canadian champion. Yeah. I had to think for a second, because he's had all the singles except for the European. He's facing Jut Jut in a non-title match. Jut Jut, remember, is the number 1 contender for the American Championship. So a bit of an interesting weaving of things there, but it is Broken Nerd versus Jut Jut, non-title, in a weird kind of preview situation. Obviously, you're picking Nerd. So am I, but this time of year, upsets happen, right? So Jut Jut could absolutely win this by rights. So, well, what have you got?
I have. Yeah, I'll do this one first. I have the Brits, Papa Snooch and the Gaffer. They will be taking on Black Cross Light, Atlas Kiyama, and Jason Blades.
Ooh, that's 2 teams that kind of need to get a win, because we've had Atlas and Jace with some issues here and there. Of late, back on the same page, looks like here. That's good. And the Brits also have not, like, they've been good, but like I said, these are teams where both need something, so pitting them against each other seems like you're guaranteed to get something out of it. Does that make sense? Like, it's a good rankings battle to me. Like, you don't want to put them against a team that is like killing it, because yeah, sure, if they win, that's awesome, but they might not win that, and then you're still you progress nothing. That's how I look at that. I got a teams match. Let me announce mine here. I've got the Strays. Michael Marsh, not Money in the Bank, I almost said that. Michael Marsh and Supreme Rock. Sorry, I think it's Mark Harper. He's 2 factions on from that. It's the Strays, Michael Marsh and Supreme Rock, facing Black Dragon Empire, Orion, and Caesar Bianco. 2 newcomers who've come in. And God, when going through things and looking at the stuff from Survivor Series, I didn't even mention really Black Dragon Empire. That's how out of it I was. And again, that was a longer one with a lot of personal stuff in it. But that faction coming out of nowhere can make waves very quickly. I said out of nowhere, but it's like it's just something there, and I like that. I like to see what could happen with that. So that's immediate way to make an impact. I like that, and because of that, no offense, Strays, I don't normally bet on you, but I'm picking the Black Dragon Empire. I just like that idea of them coming in and just like taking over kind of thing. How about you?
Yeah, they got BDE, so let's go with them.
I wonder how intended that was. Because that could be the thing where it's intended, and it's like, it also is. But, yeah. What's your other one to announce? I've got a kickoff show match for my last one.
All right, I got Sebastian Escobar who will be taking on Larry.
Ooh, okay. Larry's had a good run. So Escobar's had some hits and misses. I'm going to go with Larry on the upset.
I was going to pick that too. I was going to pick him to give the old Larry Perry out.
It should be Escobar, but I'm going to pick Larry for the upset. It is that time of year. December is always the wackiest stuff that happens. So I'm picking Larry for that. Not that he shouldn't win. Anybody can beat anybody, but you know what I mean. Like, yeah, I'm picking Larry for that. My last one to announce is, like I said, a kickoff show match. It is Orstella versus Tino. There's some instant bad blood with that. I'm leaning Orstella just based on the stuff with RGX, the stuff with Survivor Series, whatever's happening there. I think he made an impact, and he's not looking to lose. And Tino was kind of involved in there, so I'm thinking Orstella. How about you?
Same. Yeah.
And that's Deadline. Get your picks in.
Wait, I got one more.
Oh, yeah, one more. I was going to scroll down. I'll see up here. I'll keep here. Sorry.
Yeah, I got
That's right.
I got Cam Popplestone.
Okay.
He'll be taking on Billy Grayson.
Ooh, same exact thing. I think Billy's going to win that.
I know, but every time I bet against Cam, he always wins.
That's true.
Yeah.
I just got a feeling. I got a feeling about all these guys associating with RGX right now. Like, yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, let's go with it. Billy Grayson. Billy Grayson is.
Again, it's the time of year. If it wasn't this time of year where upsets are a thing, I mean, that's the thing I'm saying, but that's what I've noticed. Cam all day. Right? Like, Cam should win that, but Billy Grayson's good, so we'll see. Next up after that, it is World's End. Yes, we have a pay-per-view on December 30th, a day before New Year's Eve. We almost went without ROH. We almost went from December 9th all the way through to January 13th, BeerMe. But nope, we got a pay-per-view here at the end. God, the way they put the logo there looks like it's the AEW World's End title. That's kind of funny. But we do have the World Championship, Ash versus Jackson Myrtle. We got the tag titles, Must See Good Guys, defending against somebody that I'm going to tell you in a second. We got the Canadian Championship, Broken Nerd versus Orstella, as mentioned. We got Redhead versus Jut, as mentioned. We got the question marks. We got the MBPA versus the Kings of the FPL, and that's it. That's 2023. But let's talk about that tag title match, BeerMe. We know who's challenging for the world title, the Canadian, the American. But who's challenging for the tag titles? Who would you guess, BeerMe? Because I have this match. I know who it is. I can tell you right now. But who do you think it is? Based on who you've faced, who you've been there, who do you think you're facing? Because it's... I mean, let's think this out. It's not going to be the Kings, the FPL. It's not CT and Escobar, because they can't. And you've beaten them, It's like Red and I haven't really teamed with a win in months, so wouldn't be us. Fate to Smiles, you did beat them a lot relatively recently, but it's been a while, so maybe. Who are you thinking?
Kind of stuck between two teams. I'm going to go with the Annex Asylum.
You are correct. It is Captain Cooley's Blackwell and Static, which I did believe you faced early on in this reign or in your prior reign. I'm trying to remember. But it's been a while, so
It has been a while.
Here they are. Captain Krulix, Blackwell, and Static are challenging, forgive me, the two-time tag team champions, the must-see good guys, BeerMe Jesus, and the GMSG. I don't think we're getting new champions. I don't. But again, it's that time of year. And when I say the upsets and stuff, that goes back to literally me beating you like 6 years ago, eighth seed versus first seed in a tag team tournament, and the champions lost in the first round to the worst team out there. New tag champs. Anything can happen. That's why I say it. Like, you never know. So, but I don't think that's going to happen. But, I mean, no one did that. So, but, I mean, you're betting on yourself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No disrespect to the challengers, but
no.
I'm hoping to retain.
But that is World's End. That is at the end of the year. And just to throw some stuff in there, just so people are aware, timing of things is going to get rather interesting as Christmas comes up, as it always does with the holiday season. We are recording a Top of the Card podcast next week, so the week of like the 13th, I think it is, or the 10th or whatever it is, like on the 13th or so. And then the week after that, CT and I are both out of town. I'm visiting family until basically New Year's, and I think CT's back a little before that. I don't know the specifics, but there's going to be a few of us just not around. We'll be on Discord. We got phones, and the new Discord mobile app just updated, and it's not great, but it's there. So, yeah, there won't be another Top of the Card until 2024. We'll have our year-end stuff, which we've already been planning and plotting, because like we know what's happening at World's End, aside from results. So we have stuff for voting ready for that as well, once that's all said and done, after the results come out. That's already planned. But, yeah, it's going to be GMSG and Red doing a lot of stuff for World's End. So please keep that in mind. Please be patient. Please give advance notice on anything if anything does need it, because they're going to be running a bit solo for parts of it. I might not even be back in town when that's happening. I'm supposed to be, but I was 8 hours late from a flight last time, so who knows? I'm not even flying. I'm going to be driving, so. Yeah, so keep that in mind, everybody, for the end of the year stuff. It is going to be some wacky stuff. There won't even be a Trenchers for like a week or so in there. We will have a break like we did last time, but we'll be back for a couple episodes at least. With the deadline results, and then like a go-home kinda the week after, but that'll be about it. And BeerMe's learning this right now, so heads up, BeerMe. I'm going to be out of town for a while. So, but yeah.
Yeah, that's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, we did it last time. It's fine. Again, when there's a dead zone of that, there's nothing happening, we're fine. Even though, yes, there's a show happening December 30th. It's fine. But the one to keep in mind right now is December 9th. That is this weekend. That is, I almost said Final Battle. That's definitely not a thing we're worried about. It is Deadline December 9th. It is going to be 8 o'clock Eastern. Get your picks in. If you don't have a match scheduled for all the stuff we talked about, put your picks in anyway. We got some new people coming in. Put your picks in, you get a match. That's how this works here. And then as you come more regularly, you get booked and blah, blah, blah. So put your picks in. Please, please, please get that in there. Get that ready. Put your picks for that before 6 p.m. Eastern. Maybe 6:30, but do 6. Right? The picks page is up right now. Like, you can go right now, go over here, Deadline predictions, and put your picks in. Now, keep in mind, if something changes and stuff can't happen, we did have Dragon Lee get replaced, which is funny because he's on the logo, so maybe that's why they picked him. I don't know. But if a match changes and someone of the Iron Survivor gets replaced, the whole match is thrown out. And depending on if it happens before or after the deadline, determines on whether points like scale or go away. If you put 5 on Trick Williams winning the Iron Survivor and Braun Breaker gets replaced, and it's not deadline yet, the match goes away, and then whatever your 6-pointer was becomes your 5-pointer, and your 7-pointer becomes your 6, blah, blah. Like, everything descends to fill in that gap. If it happens after the kickoff, or after the deadline, it's just gone. There's just, your 5-pointer doesn't happen. Someone else's 1-pointer doesn't happen, whatever it is, whatever they put. So keep that in mind. With big multi-man matches, that kind of thing can happen. So, there you go. Point said. But, yeah, get your picks in, get everything in there, and BeerMe, anything you have to say to everybody for the weekend?
Just make sure to get your picks in, and good luck to everybody this weekend.
Sounds good. Thanks again, everybody. Again, it is Frontline League on Twitter, X. Frontline Prediction League with underscores between the words on Instagram. I almost forgot what that was. Frontline Prediction League here on YouTube. Like, favorite, subscribe, but also Top of the Card Pod. The podcast is on Google on Spotify. I think Google's changing their thing anyway, so there's a thing happening there, but it's on Google Play as far as I know. It's on Spotify, it's on iTunes, all that stuff. So go check that stuff out, and don't forget to put your picks in. Do them right now. Right now. Go to the Discord, through all those links, put your picks in right now, and you're good to go. Thanks again, everybody. Have a good night.